college sports. The college sports is a mess right now, guys. College sports, and again, this is an NFL podcast. I know you guys are not the biggest when it comes to us having conversations outside of the NFL. You're here for the NFL, and we're obviously cognizant of that, and we absolutely respect that. But sometimes there are just certain conversations that need to be had because they're bigger than football, and this is one of those, right? The College Sports or Protect College Sports Act is a bill that Congress and certain people and a lot of people in college and a lot of people in the government are trying to get passed, right? And it's a bill that was largely made by the people that have been able to exploit student athletes for the past 50 years. And they want to be able to do that again. They want that control that they once had, that they lost, and they're doing everything in their power to get it back. My issue with the bill and my issue with the reaction to the bill. We'll start with the bill. My issue with the bill is that it, one, limits your earning potential, which I thought we were America. I thought this was a free market. I thought the whole point is to maximize earning potential, and they're trying to limit that. And two, people, the vast majority of people, actively supporting the bill, which spits into the face of everything that is American. The reason why I say that is, how can you support something that limits earning potential? Would you want somebody at your job to be able to stop you from going to another job that offered you $100,000, $400,000, $1,000,000 more? You would be really pissed, right? But why is it because they're college athletes we're okay with that? That is antithetical to everything that this country is supposed to be built on. This is supposed to be a free market. It is a capitalistic country. What the hell is wrong with y'all, dog?
And old bitter ass Nick Saban leading the charge, trying to get the government's hand involved. A guy who has benefited off of the backs of college students, who has a legacy for this from them.
Listen, so there's things. So these are the main keys of the Protect College Sports Act. One, it is to come to an agreement on what a salary cap is and revenue sharing. That's one. Two, it is to give the NCAA the power to enact punishment or enforce a one-time transfer rule. So basically, you have one time to transfer, or if you need another time to transfer, it needs to be special occasion, like a coach left or some other bull crap, whatever crap, right? Like it used to be. Three, it wants to make sure that all of the conferences have to abide by the same thing, which is the issue that the Big Ten and the SEC is having, because they're like, dog, we pay for everything. Don't nobody give a shit about Big 12. Don't nobody give a shit about the ACC. Y'all ain't making no fucking money. We are the ones that's paying all the bills in this motherfucker. Why we gotta give our money to y'all?
Of course, they're not. They're not going to be down for that. They're not with the terms.
And,
Of
la-
no.
and last but not least, and this is hands down the most egregious part, is to give antitrust exemptions to the NCAA. To basically allow the NCAA to run and operate like the monopoly that it was running and operating before they started getting their ass kicked in the courts. I've been saying this, and I've been very consistent with this entire time. If you want to have guardrails set in place in the college football, college basketball space specifically, because they are the revenue generating sports, collectively bargain it. How can you say you're doing something that is in the best interest of the student athletes if student athletes were not a part of the process of making this bill to begin with? It is completely one-sided. That is completely advantageous to the adults in the room, when the adults in the room are the reason why we're in this mess to begin with. Not anywhere in the bill does it say coaches have to have a salary on what they can make. There's no cap on coaches' salary still. I wonder why, because coaches were involved in making a goddamn bill. There's no limit to where how many jobs a coach could take. I wonder why, because they're the ones that are in charge of making this bill. The only thing that they did was the lame Kiffin rule, which I doubt will ever be exercised, which is to say a coach can't leave while there's an active competitive part of the season. So you can't leave for another team until the season is done. I bet somebody else does it, and we'll see.
Right. Right.
So the argument that is made on behalf of why this bill needs to exist and why this needs to be passed into law is that everything is happening so fast, the money is getting too outrageous, and certain schools are not going to be able to keep up. So what? Certain schools are not competitive anyway. FAMU is never winning a national championship, dog. So, like, FAMU's not winning a national championship. Vanderbilt is not winning a national championship. There's always been haves and have-nots in college football. That's how college football works. It's like that. It's been like that. It'll never change.
Yeah.
There are 104 schools, dog. Maybe 30 have an actual chance to win a national championship, and it's really like 15. We all know this. So this idea that, certain schools are not going to be able to compete. Fucking Alabama won 7 national championships in 20 years. What are you talking about?
And nobody was complaining then.
Nobody was complaining then when they literally were winning all the championships, when nobody else was allowed to compete with them.
That's what makes Nick Saban leading the charge so disgusting to me, bro. Him of all people. And he's been against NIL since day one, but my goodness, man.
Dog. And again, no, like this idea that there needs to be a salary cap, this idea that there needs to be some type of slowing down of the money that's being spent. Dog, if people want to spend the money, then let them spend the money. This is America. That's the whole point. I have a right to buy what I want if I could afford it. It's my money. People are mad that these kids have the opportunity to. It's not even the money that they're making I think that they find offensive. It's the fact that they can't control the situation anymore. And that burns at them. Because you can't say it's about the money. You can't say about all the money that's being spent. Remember, this past year, collectively, I think it was $500 million in contracts for coaches to not coach their teams that were fired. Buyouts. You have Jimbo Fisher got $75 million from Texas A&M to go home.
Nobody's complaining.
Nobody's complaining about the $75 million that he gets because it was guaranteed. And he's not even with the team anymore. They still have to pay him. So the money is there. Don't talk to me about the money not being there. This has nothing to do with money. This is everything to do with a system that was built on control, that was built on suppressing the ability for anybody other than the people that they want to be in control to have control. And this is ultimately what is trying to bring it back. And because people are so jealous of young men making more money than them, that they're losing sight of just common sense. You're fueled by anger and animus for kids being able to make money that you never had the opportunity to make. So you're going against everything that you would do in your own personal life just to see that situation go back and revert. You have people that still saying they don't want kids making money. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, none of this is objectively a good argument if you believe in capitalism. Everybody believes in capitalism.
That's the funny part.
We all do. If there's an opportunity to make money, you're going to take it. If somebody said, I got $1 billion for you to do the same exact job just over here down the street, you're going to take the money. But when it's not you presented with that position, and it's not you presented with that situation, you take your anger at the fact that you were never presented that situation, you were never afforded that opportunity because you weren't good enough. You're just like, well, they don't deserve to make the money. You's a hating ass bitch, first of all. Mm-hmm. So I despise this. I despise it.
You're damn right, Shad. You're damn right, Shad. You're damn right, Shad.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
Speaking gospel, my boy.
We're talking about a situation, an era of football where what's his name? Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was at Alabama as a third string running back, dog. He said on the podcast, I seen Derrick Henry, I seen Josh Jacobs. I was like, I ain't never gonna see the field. I got to transfer. He had to transfer to Tennessee.
Right.
He had. I don't know if that was before you had to sit or not, but he had to. Like that's what Alabama was. It had Nick Saban had the ability to stockpile and keep everybody because they couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
If you transferred, you had to sit out. You had to give up a year of eligibility. You had to sit out for a year. Now Nick Saban can't do that. A lot of these teams can't do that. They see that they cannot compete with the Big Ten, which has some of the most richest boosters in the entire world. Because the Big Ten schools are producing lawyers and tech guys every year. Why do you think you've seen Ohio State? Well, Ohio State was always good. Why do you think Indiana immediately became great the minute that you could buy a team? You got these hating ass dudes in the SEC who doesn't have that same booster base and starting to hate. You got a lot of dudes who benefited from a system. Nick Saban, $100 million that he made in his career, hating. You could mask this. Oh, I want to protect the college. Nigga, you didn't give a fuck about none of these college sports when you was making $100 million, dog. I don't want to hear that.
Benefited you. You were quiet, man.
I never want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I have never heard Nick Saban said, "Don't give me all this money. Save money for the women's water polo team. They need the money." He never said that. When Nick Saban said, "Don't give me $14 million a year," which is what he was making his last tenure. Don't give that to me. You need to give this $4 million back to that program. Here, take $2 million and give it to the fencing team. I ain't never seen it. So don't talk to me about this courageousness and this righteousness that Nick Saban, he's doing this for college sports. When the fuck did he do it for college sports? His entire career. So, yeah, kick rocks.